It's an extraordinary feat 4 decades in the making. From 1980 to 2020, China lifted nearly 800 million people out of poverty. Experts say the speed and scale of China's poverty reduction is historically unprecedented. The data comes from this joint report by China's Ministry of Finance, the Development Research Center of the State Council, and the World Bank. According to the study, over a 40-year period, the number of poor people in China fell by 770 million. That's about 3/4 of the global reduction in extreme poverty.
If you think about just the number 800 million, that is more than double the population of the United States. We consider generations to last 30 years, so you're talking at minimum 2 generations.
Professor Anthony Moretti says Western countries can learn from China's poverty reduction efforts. According to the report, China's success relied on 2 pillars. The first, rapid economic growth. Widespread new economic opportunities raised average incomes across the country over 40 years. The second pillar, government policies. Researchers say the government initially focused on bringing economic opportunities to disadvantaged rural areas and then expanded policies to include all poor households. According to the report, even though poverty reduction policies evolved over time, they were implemented successfully because of effective and consistent leadership.
And this president of China, most especially and most notably, has made very clear that raising up every Chinese citizen is an absolutely fundamental purpose of what the government has to do at both the capital G big level and the lowercase g smaller level. And results like we've seen with poverty alleviation is one suggestion that it's working.
Moretti says it would take a drastic shift in mindset for countries like the United States to mirror China's success, but it's not impossible. According to the report, education is a crucial part of combating widespread poverty. Researchers say sustained public investment in infrastructure, focus on export manufacturing, and effective government policies to support competition in the free market are also important strategies.
One of the mindsets that has to change is people want to be poor, or they aren't working hard enough, or, well, if they just go work somewhere else, everything will be fine. So that's one thing that has to change. And then I think at a second level, what both parties will have to agree on is coming up with a message that says to the American people, look, whether over the next 40 years, whether we have all Republican presidents, all Democrat presidents, or some combination of the two, this commitment is not going to change. You know, if you look at the commitment to national defense, you can argue whether or not the U.S. spends too much on its military. That's not my point. My point is that no Democrat, no Republican has walked in and said, you know what? I don't really think national defense is a good idea. We should get rid of it. It's ingrained in the country's DNA, in other words. So why can't poverty alleviation be ingrained in the country's DNA? It's not going to be easy, but if you stick to it and you see the benefits and the advantages and you keep that big goal in mind, you have a chance.
And to give you some perspective, according to the U.S. Census Bureau in 2024, there were nearly 36 million Americans living in poverty. Walter Moore, CGTN, Washington.